So how in the world does your entire work desktop, I'm talking all your files, your apps, everything, just show up on your personal laptop at home? It really does feel like magic, right? But it's not. It's actually this super fascinating and incredibly secure journey. Today we're going to follow the path of just one single click and see exactly how it all works.
I mean, really think about it for a second. That one click sends a signal that has to travel from your house across the public internet, navigate a really complex corporate network, find the exact right computer for you in a massive data center, and then beam that screen all the way back to you securely. And it does all of that in less than a second. That's the journey we're going to follow, step by step.
Okay, so before we kick off our journey, we've got to understand our destination. We're not actually connecting to your physical PC sitting in the office. Nope, we're connecting to something called a virtual desktop.
This computer within a computer idea is really the core of it all. See, your work desktop isn't a physical box under a desk anymore. Instead, it's just software running on some super powerful servers in a secure data center somewhere. You're basically just watching a live, interactive video feed of it over the internet. And the technology that makes this whole thing possible? That's VMware Horizon. You can think of it as the master platform, the system that builds all these virtual desktops, manages them, and creates those secure pathways for you to get to them. It's the brains behind our entire journey.
So, with the basics out of the way, let's get into it. Put yourself in your own shoes. You're at home. You're ready to start your workday. And this whole incredible journey starts with one simple action.
The very first piece of this puzzle is the Horizon client. This is that little app on your home laptop or maybe your tablet. It's your personal portal, your gateway into your company's digital world. It doesn't do any of the heavy lifting itself, but it's the launch pad. It's where everything begins.
So you open up the client, you type in your work address, and you hit connect. And in that one instant, a request is shot out from your home network onto the vast expanse of the internet, making a beeline straight for your company's digital front door.
Now, your request can't just waltz right into the company network. Oh no, it first has to get through a seriously tough security checkpoint, kind of like a digital fortress designed to keep all the bad guys out.
The very first thing your connection runs into is something called the Unified Access Gateway, or UAG for short. The best way to think about this is as a very smart, very strict security guard. Its one and only job is to inspect everyone and everything coming from the outside world, the internet, and decide if it's safe to let them in. But here's the thing. This security guard isn't standing inside the main building. It operates in a special isolated area called a DMZ, which stands for Demilitarized Zone. This is just a small secure buffer network that sits between the untrusted public internet and the super trusted internal company network. It's the perfect, safe place to check IDs.
So what happens here? Well, it's a pretty simple three-step process. First, your connection request from your Horizon client shows up at the UAG. Second, the UAG gives it a thorough inspection to make sure it's legit and secure. And third, once it's all validated, it lets your traffic pass through the firewall and into the internal network. You're past the first gate.
Okay, you're inside the fortress walls, but you can't get to your desktop just yet. First, you need to check in at the main desk, the central command center, to get your keys.
This command center is the connection server. So if the UAG was our security guard, the connection server is like the digital concierge, or the broker. This thing is the real brain of the operation. It takes your request and figures out exactly what to do with it.
And this connection server has a critical checklist it needs to run through. First, it's got to authenticate you. Make absolutely sure you are who you say you are. Then it looks at what you're allowed to access and finds a free, ready-to-go virtual desktop from a big pool of available machines. And finally, it brokers the direct connection between you and that specific machine.
So how does it authenticate you? Well, it checks with the company's master list of employees and passwords, Microsoft Active Directory. Think of this like a hotel's guest registry. The connection server takes the username and password you entered and just confirms with Active Directory that, yep, you're a valid employee and you have the right permissions.
Now, this is a really important distinction to get. The connection server manages you, the user, and your session. But there's another system called vCenter Server. That's the machine manager. It's in charge of the virtual desktops themselves, creating them, turning them on, making sure they're healthy. The connection server just tells vCenter which machine to get ready for you. All right, the security check is done, the concierge has found your room and handed you the key. All that's left is the final step, opening the door and seeing your desktop. This final connection uses a special display protocol, something like PCOIP. This is basically a highly efficient language designed for just one thing: sending your screen updates, your mouse movements, and your keyboard clicks over the internet as fast as possible. It optimizes all that data so the whole experience feels smooth and responsive, even if your internet connection isn't perfect.
And just like that, the final handshake is made. The screen of your virtual desktop pops up inside the Horizon client on your laptop. Your files, your apps, your desktop background, it's all there. The journey is complete.
So let's do a super quick recap of that whole trip. It all starts with you on the client. Then your request gets secured by the UAG at the Digital Fortress Gate. After that, the connection server acts as the central brain directing traffic. And finally, you get connected to your desktop. It's this seamless journey that's all built on layers of security and really intelligent brokeraging.
This is the technology that makes the modern, flexible workplace a reality, completely untethering us from a physical office. And it leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. With our workspaces now totally virtual and accessible from literally anywhere, what comes next? What's the future of work, of collaboration, and of the whole idea of a central office? Thanks for coming along on the journey.